of the statement. Okay. The commonly used control structures are shown below. You can see first is sequential. So the control flow goes all the statements in the order in which they are written. So that's the sequential way of going. The other is selection. So based on some condition, the control flows to different set of statements. So as we could see here in this diagram, that here there is a decision making, and based on whether that decision is yes or no, accordingly we'll be moving. If it is yes, we may move in one direction. If it is no, we move in the other direction. Again, there is decision making, and based on the outcome of that decision, you will be moving in the left or right direction. Okay, so there is a selection there. Next control flow is iteration. So certain statements will be executed repeatedly. So we have seen loops, and we have seen how certain statements get repeatedly executed. Okay, so these are various control structures that we have. So one is a sequential, where all of them are executed in the order in which they are written. Then there is a selection where we make some decision based on some condition, and accordingly we alter the flow of the program. And there is an iteration where certain number of statements are executed repeatedly based on some condition. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now we know that this learning is in terms of two people conversing with each other. One of them is a business executive, the other one is a programmer. So I had to go through a lot of processes before I could clear the check-in. It involved a lot of checkpoints. So the programmer says that's a good example for use of various decision control statements. Have a look. Okay. So now here is the code which is given to us for various decisions. Now line number 1 says ticket status is equal to confirmed, luggage weight is equal to 32, weight limit is equal to 30, extra luggage charge is equal to 0. So now before I go ahead, very soon a question will come up, and from A division, roll number 32, I want you to be ready to answer this question. I repeat, A division, roll number 32. Okay. So now, if we are checking this condition, if ticket status equal to confirmed, then there are certain set of statements to be executed. So if luggage weight is greater than 0 and luggage weight is less than equal to weight limit, print check-in cleared. Elif luggage weight less than equal to weight underscore limit plus 10. If that condition is fulfilled, extra luggage charge is equal to 300 into luggage weight. Deepak sir, I'm just muting for a minute. There is a call from principal.
Okay, sir.
Please stop the recording.
Recording stopped.
Okay, Deepak sir, you could start again.
Okay, sir.
Recording in progress.
So now here we have if, elif, else structure. Now, if you look at it, these are basically conditions which we are checking. If and there is some condition which is being checked, if that condition turns out to be true, we are going to print something. Elif. Now, basically it is else if. Now we have seen when we studied pseudocode, we have seen this kind of construct where what we had is we had if some condition, then we wanted to test some other condition. So we used to say else if. Then there is a next condition. So we used to say else if. So again next condition. So else if. And if none of them is going to work out, then finally we used to have else. Okay. So whenever we had that multiple choices, this is what we saw while dealing with pseudocode. In a simple if statement, there is if some condition. If that condition is true, then the statement gets executed. That's a simple most if condition statement. Now, a next stage of it, if condition. If that condition turns out to be true, some statement gets executed, and there is else, means if condition is not true, what to do? So there are two choices. So in a simple most if statement, there is only one condition that you are checking, and there is one correspondingly option. In if else, you have two options, and whenever we have multiple options, then we go with if, else if, else if, else if, else if, and so and so. Now, when it comes to Python, in Python, this else if is written here. In a Python, it's elif, E-L-I-F. Okay, it's a keyword, just like if is a keyword, elif is a keyword. And mentally, you can understand what it means is else if, that's what it means. Okay. So we have this if condition here, elif condition here, else condition here. And then at the bottom, we have if extra underscore luggage underscore charge is greater than 0. Print extra luggage charge is rupees so and so. Print please make the payment to clear check-in. Else print sorry ticket is not confirmed. Okay, so we are going to discuss and we are going to figure out what will be the output of this particular code. So A32, can you tell me what will be the output of this code? A32, can you respond? Okay, Deepak sir, you know what to do.
Yes.
A36, A division 36.
Students, the moment we call your number or name, you raise your hand first,
Hello.
so that you are active or not. You can
Hello.
Yeah, A36.
Sir, actually, I was absent for 2 days. I was out of town. I
Okay.
have joined today.
Okay, fine. So let's give you a benefit of doubt for today. Let's move ahead. A40, A division 40. Okay, Deepak sir, today you are getting many absentees. It seems.
Yes, sir.
A42,
Yes, sir.
Ajay,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me what will be the output for this code?
Sir, as the ticket status is confirmed, the first if statement will be executed,
Fantastic.
and the luggage weight is 32 and the limit is 30, so it is above the limit.
Okay.
So else if statement will be executed.
You are saying this one?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's do it religiously. You have statement 1, 2, 3, 4, which are basically some kind of assignment. You have 4 variables: ticket status, luggage weight limit, and extra luggage charge. To these variables, you have assigned some value. Here, what you have assigned is nothing but a string. Because it is inside a double quotes, you understand it's a string type variable. Next, here you have 32. You understand it to be an integer. Then it is 30. You understand it to be integer, and this is 0, which is an integer. So the first variable is a string type, whereas the remaining 3 has a type integer. Is that okay? Roll number 40, I guess. Who responded?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Roll number 40. Is it clear out of these 4 variables, which one is a string type and which one is the integer type?
Yes, sir.
Now, even though we did not specify it, but the Python will do it internally and automatically. It's called implicit assignment. It will do that. Is it okay? Number 40.
So 42.
Sorry, number 42. Can you hear me? I need your
Yes.
confirmation. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So the first variable, which has the name ticket underscore status, it is of the string type because what we see here. And can you tell me how do you understand it's a string type?
So because it is in double quote.
Fantastic. It is these double quotes that tell me that it is a string type variable. When I look at 32, I know that it is an integer. Is it okay? When I look at 30, I understand it is integer. When I look at 0, I understand it is integer. So the remaining three, they have a type integer, whereas the first variable is of the type string. Now, once this is done, now let's look at line number 5. It says if, and in the bracket, we have some condition to be checked. Now, ticket status equal to confirmed. Now, it is equal to, it's a comparison operator. It's a logical operator which is trying to compare the two quantities. So here, the right hand side we have confirmed and the left hand side we have ticket status. Now, what is the value of ticket status? If I look at it, it is also confirmed. So both of them are same. So therefore, this condition will turn out to be true. Now, because the condition turn out to be true, the code block following this if statement will be executed. Now, how do I understand where does that code block begin? This if statement ends with this colon. This colon is a delimiter. Now, something that comes after this colon is going to be the block which I'm going to execute. But while executing, what I need to look at is indentation. Indentation means from starting point till this line, how much space I have left, that is called as indentation. So all these statements with equal amount of indentation are going to be executed. So you can see line number 6 has some indentation. Okay. Now line number 7 is because of the if statement, it is having some additional indentation. Line number 8, same as line number 6. Line number 10, indentation, same as line number 6. Line number 12, indentation, same as line number 6. So all of them, if you look at it, this 6, 8, 10, and 12, they are all having same indentation, or otherwise they are having slightly more indentation based on the statements there. So I understand from 6 up to line number 14 is the block which is going to be executed because of this if statement. When I look at line number 15, its indentation is same as that of the if. So I realize that this line number 15, okay, is not part of this particular block which I am supposed to execute after the line number 5. I see there is a raised hand by roll number 46. Yes, Rishabh, what's the query?
Sir, could you please explain line number 5 again?
Yes, I will explain. Now, line number 6 is a if condition. Now, inside a bracket, we are testing some condition. If that condition turns out to be true, the corresponding block after the if statement will be executed. And if that condition is false, the corresponding block will not be executed. Okay, up to this point, 46?
Yes, sir.
Now let's look at the condition. In a condition here, ticket underscore status, it's a variable, and we are trying to compare it with this particular string. Now, how do I understand I'm comparing? It is because of this particular operator. I see there two equal to signs. Now these two equal to signs are nothing but a logical operator. And what is the function performed by that operator? It is trying to compare. What is it trying to compare? It is trying to compare something which is there on its left hand side with something which is there on its right hand side. So these two sides of this logical operator are being compared. On the right hand side, I see a string which is confirmed. On the left hand side, I see a variable which has some value, and that value is there in line number 1. And that line number 1, its value is confirmed. So here I'm comparing confirmed with confirmed, and therefore, because they are the same thing, the condition will turn out to be true. And because the condition is true, the corresponding block of statements are going to be executed because the condition turned out to be true. Now, in other languages other than Python, the block of statements to be executed are indicated generally by opening and closing curly brackets. But when it comes to Python, the convention is different. Here we do not use opening and closing curly brackets. Rather, it is this indentation. Indentation means from the starting point at line number 6, I have put my cursor. That is my starting point. From starting point up to the point where the letter begins. So in if, this I begins somewhere here. So I need to think of this indentation. This space is called as indentation. So as long as the same or more indentation is there, that will be considered as a block of statements to be executed. So I can see here there is some level of indentation, and up to line number 14, I have either same or more indentation. So that becomes a block for statement to be executed after if. At line number 15, the indentation is exactly similar to at line number 5. So I realize it's not from line number 15 onwards, it's not part of the block. Line number 15 is the point where that block gets over. Is it clear? Roll number 46?
Sir,
Yeah.
if else line number 6,
Okay.
8, 10 and 12 are four different blocks, na?
They are same block as far as this is concerned. As far as line number 5 concerned, I repeat, as far as line number 5 is concerned, the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, they are all part of the same block. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now the confusion might come कि ये लाइन नंबर 7 पे तो सेम इंडेंटेशन नहीं है, वो तो थोड़ा ज्यादा इंडेंटेशन है. वो इसलिए है बिकॉज एट लाइन नंबर 6 you have an indentation. Okay, at line number 6 you have an indentation, certain amount of indentation, and it is a if statement. तो if के बाद फिर condition आता है, तो वो condition के लिए उनको और ज्यादा indentation देना पड़ता है. So therefore they have this slightly more indentation. So when you're thinking of a block, you have to think of certain indentation and something more than that. Anything which is lesser than that will be the point where that indentation or block ends. Is this okay, 46?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, this is something which is different.
Manoj sir, there is one more hand raise.
Okay. Whoever has raised the hand.
B14.
सर
Yeah. Yes.
सर हम लोग एलिफ एल्स के बाद वापस उसी में इफ भी डाल सकते हैं वापस.
Yes, कर सकते हैं. This is called nested if statement. So this is possible.
ओके सर.
Okay. So when it comes to nesting, you can have any level of nesting. So you can have level 1, level 2, level 3. That's your choice. And based on the level of difficulty that you are dealing with, you could go to any level of nesting. So as you become pro in programming, you will realize when to and how to use that nesting. Okay. So I hope this particular point is clear. Now, even though the question is already being answered, but we are analyzing it and understanding it. Okay. So from line number 5, we understood if the condition turns out to be true, then from line number 6 up to line number 14 is a block which needs to be executed. Then line number 15, we have a else statement, and line number 16 is something which is to be executed if the line number 5 condition turns out to be false. So now let's deal with it. Now we look at the condition in line number 5, we realize ticket status is confirmed. So when I compare it, it turns out to be true. So now I go to line number 6. I start checking the condition. Now here luggage weight, the luggage weight is 32. So is 32 greater than 0? Answer is yes. So therefore, this part will turn out to be true. Here I have and. This and is a logical operator. Okay. Then I go ahead next. I have luggage weight. Luggage weight is 32. Less than equal to weight limit. Now weight limit is 30. So is 32 less than equal to 30? Answer is false. So here we have true and false. So when you do true and false, the final answer is false. When you are ending, you realize the answer will be false. And because this condition is false, line number 7 will not be executed. So we go to line number 8. In line number 8, we have elif and some condition to be tested. So here I have luggage weight, which is 32. Less than equal to weight limit, which is 30. So in the bracket, you have 30 plus 10, which turns out to be 40. So the question is 32 less than equal to 40? Answer is yes. So this condition is true. Because this condition is true, therefore line number 9 is going to be executed. So the line number 9 says extra luggage charge is equal to 300 into luggage weight minus weight limit. Now the luggage weight is given to be 32 and the weight limit is 30. So this will give you 2. So this bracket answer will be 2. That 2 will be multiplied with 300 and the answer will be 600. So the extra luggage charge will become 600. Now once line number 9 is executed, we look at line number 10. It says else. Now because line number 8 is already executed, therefore all these statements, all elif statements or else statements after that will not be executed. So therefore line number 10 will not be executed. Similarly, line number 11 will not be executed. Now please understand, in line number 6, this if block has bigger and it continued up to line number 11. Now any point, now if line number 6 condition was true, that will mean line number 7 will be executed and line number 8, 9, 10, 11 will not be executed. 6 condition was false, so line number 7 was not executed and we went on checking line number 8. Line number 8 turned out to be true, therefore we executed line number 9 and therefore we are not going to execute line number 10 and line number 11. I hope this particular part is clear. Everybody? Okay, of course everybody cannot answer, so let
Yeah.
me.
Yes, sir.
Not clearly, sir.
Okay, which part is not clear to you? Yes, 42. Exactly which part?
No, sir, I'm clear. 46 replied.
Okay, yeah, 46. Could you clarify? So I can clarify you the doubt which we have.
सर आपने बोला ना
हाँ,
वापस से पाइथन एल्स के बाद नहीं जाएगा, उधर स्टॉप हो जाएगा एग्जीक्यूट करना।
right.
वो
So
मुझे
if
फिर
you
से
see, I'll explain. Line number 6, line number 5, you have an if block. Line number 6, you have a new if block beginning. Is it clear? 46? Is it clear, 46?
यस सर।
Now this new if block, which is starting at line number 6, is going up to line number 11. Is it clear?
यस सर।
Now, how do I understand? Because I have if, then I have elif, and I have else. Now, because this else came, I realized that this if elif block is ending with this else. I understood that. Is it okay?
यस सर।
So what happened is, if condition, elif condition, and if all of them, all these multiple conditions turn out to be false, then the else block get executed. Is it okay?
यस सर।
Now, we check condition 1. If condition 1 turns out to be true, if, then line number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 will not be executed. If line number 6 condition turns out to be false, then line number 8 condition will be checked. If this condition turns out to be true, then line number 9 will be executed and 10 and 11 will not be executed. यहाँ तक समझा?
हाँ सर समझा।
If line number 6 condition turns out to be false, it will go to line number 8. If line number 8 condition also turns out to be false, it will go to line number 10 and line number 11 will be executed. Is it okay?
Yes sir, now understood.
Okay, fine. So with this understanding, we are moving ahead. Now, A65, Mansi has raised the hand. Yes, Mansi, please ask that out.
Sir, what is the significance of elif condition?
What do you mean by significant? I mean,
मतलब सर हम उसकी जगह पे else if भी कर सकते थे ना?
okay, it's basically else if, but Python has a keyword. Is it okay?
Yes sir.
It is else if, but Python has decided a certain keyword for it, and that keyword is elif. In a Python, we don't have else if. Okay, we have elif. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you write else if, you are not going to get it. So you will have to write elif. Then only the Python can understand it as else if condition. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Now let's come to line number 12. So I understood. I started from line number 1. It executed, 2 executed, 3 executed, 4 executed. First 4 lines are simply assignment. Line number 5 was true. Condition was true. So I went to line number 6. In line number 6, the condition was false. So I went to line number 8. In line number 8, condition was true. So line number 9 was executed. Therefore, line number 10 and 11 were not executed. So we have done business up to this point. Now we are on line number 12. In line number 12, the third if statement begins. Now the first one began at line number 5 and there was some condition. Then the second if it began at line number 6. And now there is a third one which is beginning at line number 12. Okay. So this says if extra luggage charge is greater than 0. Now just now in line number 9 we calculated that is 600 rupees. So therefore when I am testing line number 12, it is 600 greater than 0? Answer is yes. It is true. Therefore line number 13 and line number 14 will also be executed. Line number 13 says extra luggage charge is rupees, which is a string. How do I understand it is string? Because there is opening and closing double quotes. Now print is basically a method. Whatever you write inside the brackets is going to be printed on the screen. So inside these brackets, we have double quotes, extra luggage charge is rupees. So it's basically a string. So this string will be printed as it is, followed by a comma, followed by a variable extra luggage charge. Now this variable extra luggage charge, it has a value 600 and that value 600 will be printed. So line number 14, print, please make payment to clear check-in. So this particular string will be printed on screen as it is. Now line number 15 is else block. Now since line number 5 is true and we have executed corresponding block, line number 15 and line number 16 will not be executed. So this is our understanding about this particular program. So A division rule number 46. Is this program clear to you line by line from line
Yes.
number 1 to 16?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Mansi, is this clear to you? Line number 1 till line number 16?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So with this understanding, so we have B division 14. Yes, Deepak, what's your query?
सर मेरा इस कोड से नहीं मतलब इसमें प्रिंट में ना हम लोग जो डबल कोड के अंदर है वही होता है ना, डबल कोड प्रिंट नहीं होता ना।
डबल कोड प्रिंट नहीं होंगे।
हाँ, तो अगर हमें ऐसा डायलॉग प्रिंट करना होगा जो डबल कोड में हो तो मतलब उसमें डबल कोड दिखने चाहिए आंसर में।
Yes. So what you could do in that case is, now when we deal print, we will be dealing with it. There is a way of doing it, and because the query has come, let me show you how it is done in Python. Okay.
सर वो ट्रिपल इन्वर्टेड कॉमा में आ जाता है ना?
Let me show things, because there are 3 ways of doing it. So just let me show some. Okay. So the simplest one I'm going to show now, and when we do the actual programming, I'll show you those. I hope screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have a print statement here, and we have double quotes here, and we have Manoj here. It's a string because there is a beginning and ending double quotes, and Manoj got printed. But now the query is, what if I need Manoj in double quotes? So we could again do that. We could say this, and then we could have this. Okay. And then we could say this, and this, and we have this. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So I can use a single quote and I can put the double quotes inside it and I can make sure that the double quote gets printed. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is just to answer the query, and there are two more ways of doing it. And as and when we will encounter it, I will be showing it to you. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but as of now, this is how I'm resolving your query. Now, in case you are interested in seeing what happens if you were to put double quotes, so let me show you that too. So here, if you do this, is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is what you are going to face. So if you think that if you want to get double quotes, then you put double quotes twice. This is not how it works here. Is it okay? So if you want to do that, by using a single quote, you can ensure that your double quotes get printed. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So let's get back to our slides. Is slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Let's go ahead. So again, now there is a conversation between the executive and the programmer. He says, I had to go through a lot of processes. Okay, that's the last slide we discussed. Okay, fine. A lot of processes before I could clear the check-in. In fact, it had a lot of checkpoints. Programmer says that's a good example for use of various decision control statements. What was the first checkpoint? The executive says the first one was passport validation by airport security. Programmer says, cool, this can be done using a simple else if statement. So, in fact, if you could see how wonderfully this website is teaching you. These are real life conditions. So, if Infosys were to design a software for airport clearance or landing and takeoff, this is how they actually do it. They first understand the process and then they start coding it. And through this example, they are actually teaching you the real life programming. Okay. So if you look at it, line number 1, passenger name Chan, passport status valid. If passport status is equal to valid, it's basically a comparison, a logical operator. Print airport security cleared, else invalid passport. So it's a 6-line simple code where you are checking for the security clearance. Okay. Chan, what was the next process? The executive says the next one was check-in process. I was supposed to confirm my ticket status and check in my luggage. He says, okay, there are two different actions here. The first one is to check the ticket status, and the second one is to check in the baggage. Let's first see the process of baggage check-in. So here is the code which is given to you. And this is the code which you have already seen and you're already aware of. Okay, so with the very same code is there, with some part rather missing. Earlier, the code which we saw was of 16 lines, now it is only of 13, which is quite relevant to what we just now saw. So here, 30 is assigned to the variable luggage weight. This 30 is assigned to weight limit and 0 is assigned to extra luggage charge. Then in the fourth, we have if statement where we are checking some condition. If that condition turns out to be true, line number 5 will be executed. If fourth condition is false, then the sixth condition will be checked. And if that is also false, then the eighth, which is else, that block will be executed. And in the 11th, it's a new if block. So line number 4, if block is beginning, and line number 9, that if block is getting over that. And then line number 11, new if begins, and line number 13, it gets over. Okay. So before I go ahead, maybe I'll ask someone to answer this. So B division, roll number 25. If this code were to be executed, can you tell me what will be the output of it?
Check-in cleared.
Okay. Reason for it?
The weight limit is equal to luggage weight.
Okay. This is luggage weight, which is 30. Is it greater than 0?
No. Yes, yes.
So this is true. Now luggage weight is 30. Is it less than equal to weight limit, which is 30? Is this condition true?
Yes, sir.
So both the conditions are true. So true and true. What will be the final answer?
True.
So this if condition we are getting in the bracket true. So condition is fulfilled. So line number 5 will be executed and check-in cleared will be printed. So your answer is correct. Is that all or something else will also happen? Do you think line number 11 will also be executed? B25?
Yes, sir. I think.
No. Extra luggage charge. Is there any extra luggage charge? See, because line number 4 got executed.
No, sir.
Okay. Because this condition is true, this elif statement will not be executed. This else statement will not be executed. So I repeat, if condition in line number 4 is true, therefore line number 5 got executed. But line number 6, 7, 8, 9 will not be executed. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So extra luggage charge, if you look at that variable, in line number 3, that variable had a value 0. So now we are checking, is 0 greater than 0? So what is your answer?
No.
Correct. So condition is false. Because condition is false, line number 12, line number 13 will not be executed. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So now, when you look at this part, line number 4, 6, and 8, there are multiple options which are being checked. Line number 4, we are checking some option. If that turns out to be true, do some action. Line number 6, we are trying next option. If that turns out to be true, do line number 7. Line number 8, we are seeing third option. So if first and second option is not there, you go for the last option, which is else option. Yes, 46, what is your query, Rishabh?
सर अगर चेक इन क्लियर्ड अगर वो आउटपुट बता रहा है अपने को तो आगे पाइथन एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करेगा ना लाइन नंबर 6 7 8 9 10
नहीं करेगा. Yes, you are right. From line number 6 up to line number 9 will not be executed at all. Clear? Okay, I think there are two participants.
part है ना?
Sorry, you are not clearly audible to me. Yeah.
लाइन नंबर 11 भी तो उसका पार्ट है ना, वो ब्लॉक
No, no, no. Line number 4 if begins, then this is option number 1 of if, then elif option number 2, and else is where it ends. Is it okay?
Yes.
Sir, but it
Yeah.
will check the if statement, right?
You are
The last
asking
if
what?
statement.
Asking 11 number, line number 11.
Yeah, it will check. I mean, it won't be executed, but it will check, right?
Perfect. 11 will definitely be checked. See, line number 4 condition is true. Therefore, line number 5 got executed. Line number 6, 7, 8, 9 will not be executed. Line number 11 will be executed. In line number 11, this condition turns out to be false. Therefore, line number 12 and line number 13 are not executed. Is it clear? There was some girl who was asking a
Yes,
query.
sir. Yes, sir, I got it.
So your query was, will 11 be executed? Answer is yes, it will be executed. But the condition turns out to be false. Therefore, 12 and 13 will not be executed. So I guess this point is clear to all. We can move ahead now. Okay, so here there are two codes. So now I want two students, one from A division, the other from B division. So from B division, roll number 53, A division, roll number 53. A division, look at code 1. Okay, both of you look at code 1 and 2. A and B division, roll number 53. Kindly confirm. Yeah. Only one person confirmed. Other?
B53.
Yes, sir.
Look at the question and tell me which code is better, code 1 or code 2. So A division, B division 53, you have two codes in front of you. Question is, which one is a better code? Both of them will give you the same output, no doubt. But the question is, which one is better? A division, B division, roll number 53. Code 1 is better. Who is saying that? Okay. Yes, Rajat. So Rajat is saying the code 1 is better. So A53, what do you say?
Sir, I couldn't make any sense of it.
Any sense of the code?
No. I mean, the difference means how one is better than another.
Okay, fine. So let's hear it from B53. Yes, B53. Yeah. You said code 1 is better. So what is your justification for that? Okay. Line number 6, what? I didn't get what you said. Code 1 is better, and now you're saying line number 6, if else should be there. So what do you mean by that? Code 1 what? I'm not asking for modification. I'm saying there is code 1 and there is code 2. Which one is better? You said code 1 is better. Question is, why code 1 is better?
Sir, can I answer?
Yes, who is this?
Sir, Mansi.
Okay, ma'am, go ahead.
So we won't go with code number 2 because if statement will be taken place for 4 times, I think. So it is a bad thing. Like it will be wrong.
Sir, it will be time consuming
that way.
compared to first
And
one.
in code 1, if we are
Sir, can I continue?
Yes, you can continue, Shreya.
Sir, in code 1, we are using ellipse. So if the first statement, that is line number 4 in code 1, if the if statement is executed, then it won't check another ellipse. It will directly jump to the last line and the code will get over. But in code 2, we are using if statement everywhere else. So if the first if statement is executed, then again it will go to line number 6 and again it will check another if statement and it will continue. So that's why code 1 is better than code 2.
Very good, Shreya. You and Mansi, you both have given the correct answer. Very good. So they said it very precisely. Now, if you look at code 1, code 2, both of them are going to give you exactly same output. Only thing is, code 1 is going to take lesser time compared to code 2. Now, the reason why it takes a lesser time, which is already stated by Mansi and Shreya, that from line number 1 to 3 in both the codes, they are basically assignments. So 1 to 3, you are assigning some value to a variable. So up to line number 3, code 1 and code 2, both of them are same. In line number 4 to line number 9, it has used if-else structure. On contrary, in code 2, we have used only if condition, that structure is being used. So in code 1, because of this structure, we have if, else, and else. So if line number 4 turns out to be true, that condition turns out to be true, then line number 5 will be executed and 6, 7, 8, 9 will not be executed because they need not be executed. There is no need to execute there. You will be saving your time. On contrary, in code 2, if line number 4 turns out to be true, line number 5 will be executed. Now line number 6 will also be executed, but actually there was no need to check it. But still, you will be checking it because the way you have written a program, and that condition will turn out to be false, and line number 7 will not be executed. Line number 8 will be executed, condition will turn out to be false, and line number 9 will not be executed. So when you look at line number 4 to line number 9 in code 1, we are doing it very efficiently compared to line number 4 to line number 9 in code 2. Now when it comes to line number 10 to line number 12, and in code 1 and code 2, both of them have the same effect. But line number 4 to 9 is where the major difference is made. So A42, you have some queries?
Sir, there will be one more else statement at the end of the code 1.
You are saying code 1. Here you are saying?
Yes, sir, at the end, because
now, just for clarification, this is same as the previous code. Both of the code 1 and code 2, they have the same output. And line number 10 onwards, the business is different. Okay. From line number 4 to line number 9, your goal is to check out whether it is check-in is cleared, and if not, what is the extra luggage charge? That's the business. From line number 4 to line number 9. From 11 to 12, you are doing a different business. Is it okay?
no, sir, because for the fourth line, if statement, there is no else statement for that.
Please understand, it's a if, else if, and finally else. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Let me show you. I get it. I get it, your doubt. So let me share with you something. Okay, is PPT visible to you?
No, sir.
Okay, so let me make PPT now visible. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, this is how if structure is. Okay. If condition, and if condition turns out to be true, you do something. Fine. This is one simplest if structure. Okay. Then there is another if structure, which is like this. So let me show you here. This is another if structure. Okay, this is structure number 2. Now there is a third structure. Okay, now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
This is the simplest if structure. So if condition turns out to be true, do something. That's it. So there is only one option. This is the one option that we have. If condition turns out to be true, do this. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second structure is if condition. If it turns out to be true, option 1. If it turns out to be false, then we have else, option 2. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there is a third structure, which is if condition is true, do this. If this condition is false, check next condition and do this. If this condition is false, check next condition and do this. If that condition is also false, all the conditions turns out to be false, then do this. So if you look at it, these are multiple options here, and out of these options, only one is going to be executed. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So always we start from the top. If this turns out to be true, this line will be executed. All this will not be executed. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Suppose I start from here, this condition turns out to be false, then I check this condition. If this condition turns out to be true, this statement will be executed and this will not be executed. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if this clarity is there, then I believe you understand this code. In this code, the similar kind of situation is there. You are starting at line number 4 and you are ending at line number 9. That if block is ending at line number 9. Am I clear now?
Sir, what if the fourth line if statement is false?
If fourth line if statement is false, line number 5 will not be executed and we will directly go to line number 6 and check the condition. If that condition turns out to be true, line number 7 will be executed, line number 8 and 9 will not be executed. New situation. Suppose line number 4 condition is false. Line number 5 will not be executed, we'll go to line number 6. If line number 6 condition turns out to be false, line number 7 will not be executed. We'll go to line number 8, which is else condition. It means if all above conditions fail, then finally execute this. So therefore, line number 9 will be executed. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir. Okay. Clear.
Fine. So with this understanding of the code, we can move ahead. I guess it is already 1-2, so I'll give you a break for 10 minutes.
Yes, sir.
So break for 10 minutes now.
Recording stopped.
Good afternoon all. There was some internet issue in college. So we both got disconnected. I guess Manoj sir, are you there? The students, Manoj sir is there? No?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. He'll join in few minutes. So tomorrow morning we have SS lecture. So join that session on time because I'm very punctual about timing.
क्या सर?
Students wait for some time because there is again some issue with internet. We'll start our hotspot. Yes. हॅलो हा हा मी अलाउड केलंय तुम्हाला पण ते जॉईनिंग दाखवतो. Mother sir, if possible, please rejoin because I'm getting that notification. Love sir is joining. Aniket, are you there? P67. Aniket Yadav.
Yes, sir.
Please transfer that post. Your post now. Please transfer that to me.
Done, sir.
Thank you, Aniket. Thank you. Joined through mobile. There is some network issue in college. So Manoj sir will take 5 more minutes. So please wait, students.
Deepak sir, can you make me co-host? I need to share the PPT.
Done.
Okay.
I also joined with mobile. So
Yeah, I also
recording, the recording is not possible. I'll try to join through my laptop.
Okay, okay. Can we give some student rights to record for Arjun?
Who is ready, student?
Okay. Can any one of you ready to record it locally? Any student? Just raise your hand. We want you to record this session locally on your computer for today. Any student? Simply raise your hand. Well, we should then ask CR to do it. A division, B division, CR, raise your hand. Deepak sir, can you give them recording rights? Himanshu and I guess the other one is Vaishnavi. Ask both of them. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Himanshu and Vaishnavi both should record. Fine. Okay, Deepak sir. Can I start, Deepak sir? clearly audible? Himanshu and Vaishnavi, you can give them right.
Himanshu, your voice now.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay, fine. So now let's go ahead. Just now we saw if, elif, and else structure. Okay, and we saw the possibilities. You can have only if, you can have if else, or you can have if elif, or you can have if, elif, and else. Many possibilities. Okay, and this is how that structure looks like, and we discussed about it. Okay, so now let's move ahead. Now this is the exercise which you'll be doing on the InfiniQ website, but currently we'll not get to it. Then this again is an exercise to be done online. Now here is what we have. Let's look at code 1 and let's look at code 2. So I want from A division roll number 55 and B division roll number 55. Please have a look at code 1 and code 2 and let me know which one is a better code and why. Okay. Now here the programmer says, Chan, do you know that Air India runs maximum number of flights from this airport followed by Emirates and then British Airways? And the executive says, oh, that's the news for me. So what's the situation? At the bottom, they have given you that if there are 1,000 passengers traveling per day, and on an average, 850 of them travel in Air India, 100 in Emirates, and 50 in British Airways. Okay. So now, on the basis of this understanding, can you tell me out of code 1 and code 2, which one is a better code? A division, B division, roll number 55. First of all, kindly confirm that you have heard the question. A55, B55. Okay, Deepak sir. So we have A and B 55. Okay, roll number 6, A division, Malcolm.
Sir, can I answer?
Yes, you can answer.
Sir, the code 2 is a better option, sir.
Why do you say code 2 is a better option?
Sir, because in the information given, sir, we know that Air India
Yes, Malcolm, why do you call it as a better option?
Sir, can you hear me properly now? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, you are
Can
audible.
confirm? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, CR,
Yes,
can you
sir.
confirm? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Manoj sir. Hello, Manoj sir. Hello, Manoj sir. Manoj sir, are you there?
I guess in between I lost the connection. I need to share it again. Sorry, I mean, mobile internet is not that reliable.
Manoj sir, are you there?
Yeah, I am there. Malcolm? A division?
Yes, yes sir.
Malcolm,
I'm
you
audible?
yeah, you are audible. Code 6, code 2 is better than code 1. So what is your justification for that?
Sir, because over here, sir, in the information given, we know that Air India has the maximum number of passengers, right?
Correct.
So from that, we know that the probability of having the first if statement, like that is, if airline is a Air India, that should be at the top because most of the entries will be on that if statement.
Correct.
And if that statement is right, then the next LF statements will not be executed and it will save time. But in code
Fantastic.
1, if Air India is at the last, then the other statements are also executed, and then so there is a redundancy over there.
Fantastic, fantastic. So when we look at it, there are 1,000 passengers and 850 of them travel by Air India. So in code 2, line number 2, if airline equal to Air India. Now this is going to happen out of 1,000, it is going to happen on an average for 850 times. So when it happens, line number 3 will be executed and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, these lines will not be executed. So you will be saving great amount of time. So 850 times that condition will turn out to be true in line number 2. And you will be saving execution of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great saving. On contrary, in code number 1, 850 times when you know that it's going to be Air India, you are going to check line number 2. It will turn out to be false. Then you will go to line number 4. That will also turn out to be false. Then you will go to line number 6. That will also turn out to be false. Sorry, that will turn out to be true. So the point is you are wasting your time in checking condition in line number 2 and line number 4, which are going to be false for 850 number of times. So therefore, whenever you are writing if, elif and else construct, the logic that they are teaching you here is whichever possibility occurs maximum number of times, that should be your first option. Whichever happens the next maximum number of times, that should be your second option, and so and so. So the one which is most likely should be at the top.
Recording in
and
progress.
the one which is least likely should be at the bottom. That is how it should be. So that is our understanding from this particular slide, that whenever we are dealing with if, elif, else construct, at that time, the most possible option should be the first one and the least possible option should be the last one. This is how we should do it, which will make our program faster by saving the time, and unnecessarily we can avoid execution of some of the statements which are not needed. Okay, so very good, Malcolm. Okay, so with this
Thank you, sir.
understanding, anybody had a query? Okay, fine, I move ahead. So with this understanding, now we will keep going ahead. So here is the question now. So I want students to have a look at this question and answer this particular question. So question is open. Anybody can raise the hand and answer this particular question. What will be the output of this code is the question. So you can raise your hand and answer this question. So here is the code in front of you and here are the options in front of you. So what will be the output for this particular code? Num1, num2, num3 given to you and we desire to know the output. Anybody? Okay, I see roll number 28.
Sir, 2.
Tushar Gupta.
Yes, two.
Output is 2, sir.
Okay, so okay, fine. So A28. So can you tell me why are you saying the output is 2? Let's go line by line. First 3 lines are simply assignment. Line number 4, 5
Yes, sir.
greater than equal to num3 6. So is 5 greater than equal to num6?
No, sir.
So therefore this condition is false. Therefore line number 5 and line number 6 will not be executed. And we will go to line number 7. In line number 7, num1 is 100. Is 100 greater than equal to 100? Answer is true. Is 200 greater than 50? Answer is true. So true and true makes this bracket true. And because the bracket is true, therefore line number 8 will be executed and 2 will be printed. Now because line number 7 got executed, therefore line number 9 and line number 10 will not be executed. So we have output as 2. That's the correct answer. Is it okay?
सर वो चेक ही नहीं करेगा ना, उधर एंड हो जाएगा ना.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm saying. It will just not go to line number 9 and 10. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So after execution of line number 8, line number 9 and 10 are not going to be executed. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So with this understanding, we are moving ahead. Let's go to the next question. Here is the next question. And again, this is open question to anybody. Anybody could answer. Okay. Now question is, what should be the value of num1 and num2 to get the output as 1? And here are the options. So now you can think of it and you can answer. What should be the value of num1 and num2?
Three.
Okay, so there is somebody who is suggesting option number 3. Anybody else? I see there is one raised hand. Raised hand by roll number 7, Upka. Yes, Upka.
Yes, sir, that's option 3 is correct.
Okay, you are saying option 3. Okay, let's test option 3. So num1 is 5 and num1 is 2. That's what you are saying. I directly put the values here and I start testing it. So num1 is 5/1. So answer will be 5. So is 5 equal to 5? Answer is true. Then
No, sir,
5.
the second one is not true. No. Yeah.
Sorry?
Num1 plus num2 will not be okay.
Num1 is 5, num2 is 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Is 7 greater than 5? Answer is true. So therefore, be true. And because final answer is true, therefore line number 2 will be executed and output will be 1. Because line number 1 condition is true, therefore line number 3, 4, 5, 6 will not be executed and output will be 1. So
Even
yes,
first option is correct, no?
may I know who is this? I mean, who is saying?
B15.
Okay, B15. Let's look at it, B15. Now, num1 is 11. This is num2, which is 2. Okay. And now if we put the values, let's see what happens. Now, before I go ahead, this is our day 3 of learning. Day 1, we have day 1 and 2, we have spent on the pseudo code. And now we are very much into Python. And before we go ahead and we look at this particular bracket, I feel there is something I need to show you. So let me show you that. So here is the screen, Python screen. Okay, it's a Python shell. Now if I say 11/2, let me type it here, 11/2. Okay, it's a division operator, 11/2. In Python, see what happens. Am I okay? Am I okay?
Yes, sir.
Clear to all? Okay. I hope this should clarify the question which we are going to deal now. Okay. So now if I were to go with option number 1, which is 11 and 2, so 11/2 is going to give me answer 5.5 and this condition is going to be false. And because this condition is false, this condition is going to be true. True and false is going to make it false and therefore 1 will not be printed. But we want output to be 1. So that's not desirable. So option 3 is something which will ensure everything.
Sir, will the fourth option also come out to be true?
Problem is there is minus 10.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that minus, sir. Correct.
Okay, so let's go ahead with this. So, well, now this complete code is not visible, so I will move on to the next. Okay, now here is one more quiz for you. Now, what is the output of this particular code? Again, this is open to all. Question is, what will be the output of this? Okay, but again, it will take a lot of computation. In order to save time, I'll leave it to you as a homework. I will move ahead. Okay. So these are some of the exercises that you will see as you will go for MQTQ website. These are all the slides, questions, exercises coming from there. So the important part next I'm going to touch now. Okay. Now, boundaries are error prone. This is basically now discussion about a test cases. Yesterday we solved one question and they had given us some test cases, and along with those sample inputs, they had also given you expected outputs. So whenever you write a program, then there are certain boundaries, and those boundaries are the position where majority of the time mistakes occur. So therefore, there is a way of avoiding those mistakes, and that is what is being discussed here. So now let's understand. Whenever ranges, say greater than 0 or less than equal to, greater than equal to 30, or greater than equal to 1 and say less than equal to 30, etc., are being written in conditions, we need to exhaustively, please note the word, they say exhaustively test, as most of the programmers make errors while writing these conditions. Now, this is not what I'm saying, this is what is Infosys is saying, so they are into it. So we need to understand that when they are saying at boundaries, majority of the time error occur, it means that is the point where majority of the time error occurs. Hence, it cannot be sufficient to just check two values that take control to true and false path alone. In that case, we should test the boundaries by considering the values on the boundary, one above the boundary, and one below the boundary. So whenever you are making test cases, how to make those test cases? Now, testing, software testing is itself a different branch altogether. I mean, it's a different business altogether. It's a different designation altogether, and so and so. But as a simple basic program, what we make, we need to know that how we are going to test it, how we are going to make our test cases. Okay. So this technique of identifying test data on the boundaries is known as boundary value analysis. Okay. Now, the correct logic for the check-in process of the Air India is given below. Here is the decision block. Here is the input, which is luggage weight is equal to 25. You are checking, is luggage weight greater than equal to 1 and luggage weight less than equal to 30? If it is true, check-in is clear. If it is false, check-in is not clear. So the test data values we should use for the luggage weight as per the boundary value analysis are, it should include lower limit, which is 1. It should include upper limit, which is 30. But it should include one value lesser than it, one value bigger than it. So you should test at 0 also, you should test at 2 also. You should test at, for upper limit, you should test at 29 also, you should test at 31 also. The majority of the time, what neophytes do is, they simply test only at 1 and 30, which is mentioned here, 1 and 30. They test only at that point. But what is being suggested is, you take one lesser, one bigger. So you should test at 0, you should test at 2. As well as you should test at 29, you should also test at 31. That's how you should test. That's what is suggested. Okay, so again, now there are many questions and exercises that you will see. Currently, we are not getting into it. This is going to be an homework for you. And whenever you log in, whenever you register, this is what you will see there. And see, a lot of exercises are there. I'm just showing you what all is in store for you when you start doing it. So now I'm moving ahead with the loops. Okay. So here now we are going to talk about the while. So when it comes to a Python, this is how the syntax looks like. Now here I have while, in the bracket I have condition followed by colon, and then I have the statement 1 up to statement 9. Okay. So if the condition turns out to be true, from statement 1 to statement 9, they will be executed. If condition turns out to be false, then you will go to a statement which is outside this while block. Okay. So now here while is the keyword which we'll be using. So as far as while is concerned, and as far as the other constructs are concerned, you are kind of already aware of it. Now next is the for loop. Now while statements look similar to what you showed for pseudocode, but when it comes to the for loop, is it the same? Now for the loop, for loop in JavaScript and Go are similar to what we learned in pseudocode, but Python it is slightly different. In a Python, for loop allows the loop to run over a specific sequence of values. In other words, for every value in a sequence, the loop runs once. Thus, we can avoid infinite loops by using a for loop. Now this is how the for looks like. Now for is a keyword. Here number is a user defined variable name. Here in is a keyword, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is nothing but the values that this variable number can take. Now you have studied C++, you have studied Java. Some of you might have studied C also or some other languages. But majority of the time, the for construct, this is kind of a different. The for includes initialization, testing of some condition, and then there is an increment. These are the three stages in which for works. In fact, when we studied the pseudocode, we had the same thing. What we had is, we had initialization, then some condition, and then some increment or decrement. So initialization happens, then you check some condition. If the condition is true, you execute the statement and increment the value and keep doing it for a given number of times till the condition turns out to be true. That's how we do that. But in Python, it is different. It's not like that in a Python. In a Python, if you look at it, it's for, which is a keyword, number, which is a user-defined variable. In is again a keyword. So please note, in is a keyword. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just for understanding here, the immediate statement after that is print, the current number is and number. So what happens here is, first this 1 will be assigned to number. Then 2 will be assigned to the number. Then 3 will be assigned to the number. Then 4 will be assigned to the number. And then 5 will be assigned to the number. So therefore, when I look at it, my output is going to be the current number is 1, then the current number is 2, then the current number is 3, and accordingly the output will be printed here. So I hope everybody has noted that for is different in Python compared to the other language. Now, we have some exercise to do and we'll be able to do that there. Let's look at it here. Okay. Now, in a Python, there is an easy way to achieve now something which we did here. Now, in this, what we did is we wanted numbers from 1 to 5. So we simply said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, because we had only 5 values to deal with, it was easy. But if we had 100 values, are we going to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 100? Now that will be very laborious. So in order to find the shortcut in a Python, we have a shortcut for it. What we can do is we can use range. So now if you observe here, line number 1, start is 1, end is 10, and step is 2. So it says for, which is a keyword, number, which is a user defined variable name, in is a keyword, and we said range. Okay. Now this range is also keyword. Start, end, and step. Now what is the start? 1. What is the end? Before we go ahead, understand this further. It creates a sequence from x to y minus 1 with a difference of a step between each value. So this range is going to be replaced by a sequence now. And what will that sequence be? Start from 1 and go up to y minus 1. So what is y? Y is nothing but the end, and that end is 10. And y minus 1 is nothing but 9. So I have to start from 1 and I have to go up to 9. And in this case, the step is given to be 2. So this range start, end, step is going to look like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And when I try to print it here, it will show me the current number is 1, next is 3, next is 5, next is 7, and the last is 9. Yes, D14. Deepak, what's your query? Yeah.
उधर हमें रेंज में मतलब ऊपर जो स्टार्ट वगैरह जो उसके वैल्यू असाइन किया उसकी जरूरत नहीं है ना, सीधा रेंज में ही आता है ना वो। मतलब रेंज कीवर्ड में वो है कि हमें मतलब वो स्टार्ट हमें जो वैल्यू असाइन किया है ना, स्टार्ट 1 एंड इज इक्वल टू 10, वो करने की जरूरत नहीं है ना।
No, no, no. We don't have to do that. You can directly, you could have written it like for number in range in the bracket 1, 10, 2. इधर directly आप कर सकते हैं. Is it okay?
ओके सर।
Yeah, you can directly write it here without a problem. Only thing that we need to be care about whenever you are dealing with the range and when it says x, y, and step, this y, okay, we do not go up to y. We go from x up to y minus 1. So when I say 1, comma 10, I'm going to start from 1 and I'm going to go up to 9. So always we go one number lesser than the end point. That's how we go. Okay. Now let's deal with it here. So let me ask a question now. So from B division, roll number 42. B division, roll number 42.
Yes, sir.
You have a question in front of you. Line number 1 says number for number in range 1 comma 5 print the current number is. So can you tell me what will be the output corresponding to line number 1 and 2?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
5 will not be there.
No, sir.
Okay, why 5 will not be there?
Sir, it is excluded because if we want to include 5, then we will have to write range for 1 to 6.
Very good. Now, after that, we have a print and then we have a string. So that string will directly be printed. So let's not worry about it. Line number 5, there is nothing. Line number 6, again we have a for loop. And then we have line number 7. So what will be the output corresponding to line number 7?
Oh, 1, 3, 5.
Very good. Now, since
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Please ask.
Sir, in the first for loop, we have not mentioned the step
Very
things.
good. Whenever the step is not mentioned, there is a default step of 1.
Okay.
Whenever step is not mentioned, the default step is 1. So your query is very valid and the answer is the default step is 1.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
तो उन्होंने बनाते वक्त ऐसा y-1 क्यों रखा?
Probably you'll have to ask those who made Python. I mean, you can ask them. They will probably answer, or somebody who is very expert into it. Yeah. For me, that question sounds like why sun rises in the east. I'm not the one who decided the rules. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now we have line number 11, which is for number in range 5, 0, minus 1. And then we have print so and so. So what will be the answer?
Sir, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I?
Yes. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, sir, 1, 2, 3, 4. फिर वो इन्वर्स हो जाएगा.
You are saying 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
सर वो इन्वर्स हो जाएगा ना माइनस.
Okay. Fine. Anybody else? Or
So may I?
yeah, please go ahead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have so many answers now. So best thing is, let me show you what Python gives you for that. Okay, let me directly show you here. Is screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for number in, so here is your question. Okay, for number in the range, and then you have 5, 0, minus 1. Okay, and then here you said print, and then you had numbers. Now I'm saving my time in writing some of the things which are not needed, and here is your answer. The answer goes as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, can anybody answer, like, why is that so? Why do we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Anybody would like to answer? Why is the question?
So because we are giving range from 5 to -1, and in between we have also added 0. So it is like it stopped at 0.
It stopped at 0.
So may I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, here 5 is included and 0 is excluded a number, and -1 is the difference, that is step.
Yes.
So here we are moving in backward direction, like 5 -1, and then 4 -1, and then 3 -1, 2 -1, and at the end 1 -1. And since 0 is not included, therefore the 0 is not printed here.
Fantastic. So we have started from 5, we are going up to 0. We are going in a negative direction. We are going -1. It's a negative increment that we are going. So the last number here given to be 0. So you started from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you will stop 1 lesser than the final number. So the final number is 0. So 1 lesser than that, you will stop. So you started from 5, you'll go 4, 3, 2, 1, and you will stop before you reach 0. So you will stop 1 number lesser than that final number, which is 0. Is that okay? Am I clear?
Sir, can you please
Yes, sir.
explain this thing
I'll
with
repeat.
one more
I'll
example?
repeat. I'll repeat. Okay. You want one more example? So let's have one more example. Let's do it here. 1 second. And let's change the numbers. Let's make it 2 here. And let's make it 7 here. And let's deal with it here. Now I started from 2. Okay. Sorry, I started from 7. That's my start number. 2 is my end number, and I have a decrement of -1. So I'm going to start from 7, go down to 6, go down to 5, go down to 4, go down to 3, and I'll stop 1 number lesser than the final number. Final number is 2, and 1 lesser than 2 is 3. So I stop at 3. So always, whichever is your end point, you have to stop 1 lesser than the final number. Now, since the current direction is negative, therefore we have to take care of that. Had it been positive, the story is a bit different. Now let's do it in a reverse way. Let's make it 2. Let's make it 7. And let's keep it 1. Even if I don't write that 1, still it should do no harm at all. So you started at 2 and you are incrementing it. So 3, 4, 5, 6, but you will stop 1 lesser than the final number. Final number is 7. So you will stop 1 lesser than that. So 1 lesser than that is 6. So you stopped at 6. Is that okay? Is
Yes,
this
sir.
okay? Always 1 lesser than the final number is the point where you stop. So you started here from 5. Because of -1, you are decrementing it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then the last number is 0. So you have to stop at 1 because 1 lesser than the final number. Here you started from 7. So you start 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1 lesser than the final. Final number is 2. You have to stop at 3. Now here you are incrementing. Okay. You are starting from 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 lesser than the final. Final is 7. So 1 lesser than is 6. You have to stop at 6. That is how this is working. Is this
So,
okay? Yeah.
so in last example, can you put -1 instead of 1?
Do that.
So what if it was 2,7?
It will still have the same because default increment is that. Let me show you. I mean, it's okay. You have nothing. Can you see that? This part?
Yes, sir.
Somebody
Why,
had
sir?
a query. What if we put -1? So there is an error. Now currently I'm working in a shell. It's not showing you any output. When you put it in a file and run it, you will have an error there. Okay. Is this okay?
So because the output is showing negative value, so it is coming error.
Where output is showing negative values. If it is negative values, it can print negative values. Negative values is not an issue.
Okay, so what is the
Negative
issue
values,
then?
negative value is an issue. Here you are starting at 2, okay? And let me talk about this statement here. Your starting value is 2, your ending value is 7. Now you are decrementing it. You can never reach to 7 by doing this. Can you ever reach to 7? Starting from 2, decrementing it by 1, can you ever reach to 7?
No, sir.
It's never possible. You
Instead
cannot
of 7, we can put -7, then it will work, no, sir?
Yeah, -7, then the story is different. You know, you have this and then, oh, sorry. Is it okay
Okay, sir,
now?
got it, sir.
Yeah. So you started from 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -6, 1 lesser than the final number. Final number is -7. So you stopped at -6.
Okay, sir, got it, sir.
Is this okay? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
आउटपुट ऐसा हॉरिजॉन्टल मिलने के लिए भी कुछ है ना?
Yes, if you want that output horizontal, you can put here comma and you say end is equal to and double quote symbol and we will have it in a horizontal way. So when we come to input output statement, so we'll be looking at it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, can you repeat that, sir?
Which part?
The horizontal part, sir.
Here you can say comma end equal to and single quotes and then we can have it in a single line.
करो ना वो.
Sorry?
वो दिखाओ ना उस पे.
Okay, okay. So you have it this. We have it here. We have it comma. We say end equal to, and we have this is this. This is this. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just not exposing too many things in one session. I'm just keeping it light. There are n number of possibilities that you can deal with. Okay. Will
Yes,
be
sir.
okay? Okay. So right now this is 2, 4. Those who have doubts, stay there. Those who wish to leave, you are free to go.
So can you please share the notes?
Yeah, sure.
Abhilash, sir, please stop recording.
Recording stopped.
Okay.
सर हमारे पास IPython है वो चलेगा ना मतलब प्रैक्टिकल के लिए जो भी है.
Yeah, IPy is more than sufficient.
Okay, sir.
Sir, should I end this meeting now?